abandoned magical cities, or a floating hive of scum and villainy?
Tonight we bring you 2 incredible floating cities for you to use for your campaign.
That's how we roll. 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 That's how we roll.
Welcome to the Goblins Corner. My name is Eric.
And I'm Matt.
And tonight,
We're talking about floating cities.
that's right. We love magical locations, don't we, Matt?
Absolutely.
And so tonight, we have 2 awesome floating cities that you can use in your next campaign.
2. That's right. We have 2.
Only
we
2.
Originally had 6, and we realized how long this episode was going to be. It was literally going to be like a 5-hour episode.
So we scaled that down. Don't worry, folks. We're going to throw it up on our site, maybe even on our Patreon. We're working on that at some point.
Or if you guys are enjoying this, we'll come back and we'll
give
do
it to
the
you
other
for free.
cities.
We don't care. We'll help you out with the games. But we realized that these 2 magical cities that float are really awesome. And I like the concept of the floating city. I don't feel that it gets enough love.
No, there definitely is something innately, obviously fantastical about a floating city. But for some reason, it doesn't show up except in super, super high fantasy settings.
And we think you could literally start your campaign in a floating city if you want.
Absolutely.
So we've got 2 different types. We'll get to those in a second. These are game agnostic. Feel free to use them in D&D, Daggerheart, for example, or Pathfinder.
Yep,
or
anything.
Anything, really.
Yeah.
We didn't throw any game rules in there.
Nope.
Because that takes too much time. So we're going to give you some descriptions and stuff like that. In fact, Matt, what do we need to get started to put together a floating city for our dear listeners?
You need an intro. Basically, the city at a glance from an outsider's perspective. The gray box description that you read to your players, for all intents and
As
purposes.
you crest the hill,
Sure.
this glorious, gigantic city sitting on top of a large purple cat.
Yes.
We didn't
About
build
my
that one, but that's a great one as well. It should have a giant floating city on a purple cat. Description in terms of 5 senses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6, depending upon if you have any psychic players. You never know.
Or people with permanent detect magic up.
That's true. We're not here to judge. Vibe. How does this place make the characters feel? And that's very important because depending upon the style of your campaign, might go many ways.
And that's not even a fantastical thing, right? Different places feel different ways.
Yes. They just do.
Yeah. And this is just a way to check in to tell your players, this place feels like home, right? It feels like a stereotypical small town. It feels much bigger than it normally should.
This feels like a giant construct city that I'm walking around in. And then it goes into space and turns into a giant robot with a laser sword. All right, that's Robotech. What else do we have, Matt?
Features.
Mm-hmm.
What are any specific environments, magical, cultural elements, or things of interest to the players?
This allows you to add your own kind of personal touch to things as well. And of course, with any of this, you can spin off whatever you want.
Sure.
But we're just going to provide some examples of these sort of environmental stimuli. You want to add extra rooms, you want to change things up. Oh, it's acid, make it fire, no problem. Do whatever you need to do, right? We also have inhabitants and encounters because guess what? A city is full of people, usually.
Sometimes.
Sometimes things.
Yep.
And so that includes NPCs and, of course,
Monsters.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yes. Got to have some monsters in a city. Whether that's the Odiug sitting in the sewer or the box cat, if you haven't seen our felines episode.
Or it could just be literally a city of monsters.
The city full of monsters. Yes, the Club Med.
Yep.
Monster Club Med. Got the Kuato with the Margaritaville shirts.
Sure.
The surfing Salhagans.
Absolutely. All on the back of a Zaratan.
Yes, on the back of a Zaratan, the Illithids drinking chilled brains.
Yeah.
Be delightful. Beholder's Tendon Bar.
Smoothie of brains.
I could see a lizard man with a nice tuxedo, like a lizard man butler, serving drinks. Monster Club Med.
See, when you said the tuxedo, I was thinking Fantasy Island.
A tattoo? What, the lizard man? It'd be a kobold then, 'cause he's short.
Yeah.
Although it'd be funnier. I like the idea of the lizard man lurch.
Sure.
But you know what? It could be anything. We'll have to make the Monster Club Med at some point. Finally, by the way, before we dive too far off the rails, we are going to give you some story hooks that you can use in your game. So that's a couple of ideas to get the juices flowing for you to come up with an amazing campaign. Now, this could be a side quest. This could be an entire campaign. Doesn't matter. We're giving it to you for free. Why? Because we're awesome.
And that's what we do here.
That's what we do. That's right. So let's go ahead and get started. Matt, this is the first one. I came up with this one. You came up with the second one. They're both awesome. We've added a whole bunch of details, both you and I, to these two cities. And the first one I love. Why don't you tell me the name of it?
This is the abandoned Arcane City, a la Floating Atlantis or Kroll.
If you haven't seen the Kroll movie, that's okay. You probably aren't old like us. Let's give a brief intro, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
The party crossed the mountain range, their long journey over. The locals were right. In the middle of a bluff of brown grasslands floats a massive, angular, multi-storied city. Spooky. The sun shines down upon columns of gleaming metal buildings, strange twisting pathways, and shining ramparts, all 20 feet above the surface of the bluff.
That is high, but it's not like unreasonably high. You can get that with a ladder.
Yes, it's just high enough to piss people off.
Yeah, it's frustratingly high.
Frustratingly high. Through it all, the most disconcerting part of the city is the silence. No children cry with delight, no merchants hawk their wares, no citizens buzz with activity. The city is as empty as a tomb. Your companions move swiftly, for tomorrow the strange, silent city may disappear to another part of the world. Much like Kroll.
Or Brigadoon.
Brigadoon? Oh, yeah, about Brigadoon. So let's talk about this city specifically. It's an abandoned, arcane, floating city.
This is a medium-sized city, complete with a city wall and winding streets. Okay.
Straight up city.
Yeah. In this case, the construction is of some unknown material, possibly metal or glass. This is due to the reflectivity. So it's something reflective regardless of...
Mithril, aluminum, unobtainium, doesn't really matter,
Sure.
Right? Some kind of strange material. Could be strange, could be completely normal. I would think it should be strange because I feel that the buildings should heal over time, or at least have the ability to be repaired over time.
It can contain up to 5 districts.
DMs, tailor this to, your story.
Whatever your game is, right? Yeah. And it has a massive central campus composed of a ring of towers. Just 5, 7, 12, however many you need for your story.
Some sort of pleasing shape.
Yes. The whole thing is deserted of living creatures.
This includes vermin, food, or anything alive.
However, the city is not immobile.
That is true.
There's more of that in inhabitants.
That's right. Now, we have a couple of districts that we think we would include in an abandoned arcane city.
Sure.
So the first one would be, obviously, a merchant district. Just because people don't live there doesn't mean they didn't at one point sell stuff there. So what we would see is empty stalls, potentially with unseen servants, keeping the whole place clean. That's kind of cool, right?
Yes. Barracks. Now, there are siege golems that guard this area, but also, if this was a living city at some point, then...
There's going to be beds, there's going to be weapons, there's going to be stuff, right?
Right. Those that bypass the monolithic creatures find beds that are too small or too large for normal characters.
Quote, unquote.
Right. And they have strange, unknown weaponry in racks on the wall.
This implies whatever you want it to be. This could be your MacGuffin, folks.
Sure.
And I love this idea, by the way, because it could introduce a new species, could introduce a progenitor race. It could just be weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they're magical, right? Maybe left unattended, the weapons change to what they think the residents are.
Or maybe these were perfectly normal people and this was just the style at the time.
They have small weapons or large weapons.
And, to curl up in bed or just lay in these enormous, expansive beds.
Absolutely. I love that. In addition to those two, we also have a residential section. These are small, gleaming houses, each topped with a tiny wizard tower. Many strange devices are found in these empty homes, such as water from unknown sources, trash cans which cause waste to disappear, and still burning hearths and ovens.
It's a Magitech city.
Yes, Magitech.
Simple as that, right?
Just like Hal's Moving Castle.
Right? You turn on the faucet, the water comes from somewhere.
Absolutely.
There's a city park. Strange crystalline structures act like trees here, and topiary golems tend these growing structures.
I like that there's crystal trees with tree golems
that
tending
tend
the
to
crystal trees.
Yes.
Kind of ironic.
Animated chessboards, or whatever game, and waterworks, which defy physics, are both common.
It's a water that flows up hills. or in different colors.
Does like corkscrews.
Does some weird-ass stuff. Yeah, it looks like something from the Foundation TV series where it's just kind of geometric shapes and stuff.
Sure.
I love it. And finally, we have some entertainment as well, because, every city has an entertainment section. So buildings may have programmed illusions, moving art galleries, or even animated puppet shows. They're all interspersed within larger museums and very empty bars. The glasses are there, the booze is there. You could potentially get drunk on strange pan-dimensional wine.
Yeah. If you trust drinking at an alien bar, do what you need to do.
I love this. So, Matt, what's the vibe of the abandoned city?
It is an abandoned arcane city. It feels like a mystery that needs to be unraveled or solved, right?
Yes. Because, first off, why is it abandoned? That's on everybody's mind, right? It's a mystery.
And where did everyone go?
Mm-hmm. Did they get picked up by the Tarisk and eaten? Did they disappear? Are they atomized? Maybe they're all, turned into strange topiary golems. Who knows?
Sure.
Could be anything, right? This should be something creepy, possibly amusing at times.
DM should play on the quietness of the city here. Like, the sound should be dampened, and basically only the constructs are making any noise as they maintain the city.
Right. So you might hear the swish, swish, swish of a gust of wind spell that's animated, or unseen servant. You could have
just little whisk brooms.
Sure. Things turning on and off by the golems that maintain stuff. And they could have all kinds of different golems.
Sure.
Could have animated chairs roaming around in feral packs. Who knows?
I love the idea of a streetlight golem. Like, if you go outside, this thin little golem walks up beside you and its head turns on.
Just follows you around. Yeah. Like a drift globe, basically. But it's a golem.
Yeah.
That's really cool. We've got some features as well. So we could have all kinds of different things. So first off, unseen servant horde. Talk to me about that. That's a bit odd.
So I like the idea that the city is serviced largely by unseen servant, because it adds to the creepy hollowness of it all.
It's all automated.
Right, because some constructs is fine, but I would like it to look less crowded than that.
That makes sense. Sure. We've got running water, because it's an animated, magical city, right? Floating magical city. We've got programmed illusions, which I love. These could be anything. And this is where you pile on the creep factor, right? They could be strange. Maybe the programmed illusions don't have any people. Maybe they're literally for ads of products or something like that. Again, if you're trying to spiff the mystery up of who actually lived here.
Abstract art and music.
Ooh. I like
right, like in the museums.
Yeah. Another thing you could do is for the programmed illusions, they take the form of the actual player character species instead of what the actual species of this, because maybe they form according to who's looking at them.
Absolutely.
That would be kind of neat, right?
Yep.
What other things could we put in terms of features, Matt?
Healing platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you get injured, you are looking around and end up on one of these platforms incidentally. It glows with a brilliant golden green light.
And you're healed.
Yep.
That's cool. We can have moving platforms too, so escalators or what is the little automated walkway things?
Sure. Teleportation circles.
Yes.
Also fun if unmarked.
Yes. And speaking of unmarked, we could also have
magical traps.
Yes. Traps of any kind, by the way. Not just magical traps, but traps.
Sure.
And you should.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to stress in terms of features is random teleportation. I think that as a magical abandoned city, you should have some kind of magical teleportation that just crops up occasionally, right?
Sure.
This can be a leveled setting for the characters. So in the beginning, maybe the city randomly teleports, goes from location to location.
Sure.
This puts the players in unfamiliar environments. Great. They step into the city for the night because they see it. It's empty. They wake up in the desert. Oh, no. I needed to get them to the desert anyway to fight the blue dragon. Everything's kosher now.
And if a floating city shows up in blue dragon territory, the dragon's going to come to you.
He actually is, yes.
Yeah, you don't even have to go look for it.
This also could be set to a countdown, so every night it teleports to a random location, or maybe they have to figure out when it teleports.
I like the idea that it's random. Every time it teleports, you roll 2d10, and that's how many days it stays where it's at.
That's also great. Perhaps as the game progresses, the characters could gain access to the controls of the city. That would be fun, right? This allows them to move into places or gain access to certain buildings, all that sort of thing, as well as maybe eventually awakening actual NPCs in the city. And that could either be intelligent golems or whatever, or even the actual, residents.
Yeah, even be able to pilot it at some point, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. So an example might be something along the lines, because I see it like a lot of the rooms being locked because it's a magical city. So
Sure.
in the beginning, you do a couple of side quests or you fix something for the city, and all of a sudden you open up the inn so that the players can sleep in the bed instead of, outside.
Doing favors for the city is what leads us to our next spot, actually.
That's right. So there's jobs that can be done in a magical abandoned city. Like what?
Occasionally, the city requires the citizens to leave and obtain something for the city. Maybe the city needs magical materials or raw materials.
Ore and stone, stuff like that.
Right. Monstrous ingredients.
Ooh.
For whatever reason.
Part of a chimera, perhaps, to power some kind of arcane device.
The brain of an illithid.
Yeah.
To make more AI.
Brain of an illithid powering a city just sounds horrible. I love that. Could also do information as well. So maybe the characters must retrieve a specific answer or give a random message to a specific person in the world. So essentially, the city is giving you quests. Now, this is great in terms of game mechanics because you could have an episodic game every week. It teleports to a random place on your planet, sends them out and, for something.
Right.
Be it an illithid brain or even just gold. Or to go fight that monster. I need you to fight that. Don't know why. And then over time, you have this arcing story of why is the city making you do this?
Sure.
Who are the original inhabitants? Stuff like that.
There are lots of ways you can go with that.
A lot of cool, fun
Yeah,
encounters.
we'll talk about it in story hooks for a second. But
yes. Speaking of which, while you're doing all of these random encounters, we have some encounters within the city as well, Matt.
Sure. The inhabitants, quote unquote.
Yes.
You're going to have golems of all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, magical traps.
Which we mentioned.
Magical traps can also be
Intelligent?
Yes. Like, it could be a person trap.
Like a programmed illusion, perhaps?
Yes.
Well, speaking of which, you could have some sort of semi-sentient illusion or spell.
Imagine, Cortana? Is that her name?
Yeah. From Halo?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and in Eberron, they had rogue spells that were intelligent as well, living spells. So you could also have stuff like that. Now, you brought up something that was really interesting, and I think this is a cool encounter as well, which is what?
Familiars. While no living creatures exist, many spirits are drawn to the city. Remember, in D&D as it's written now, familiars aren't actually animals anymore. They are, in fact, spirits in animal form.
Okay. That makes sense. You might also have elemental spirits and stuff like that, but since familiars are spirits, they might just be milling about in the city.
They just came to visit and they're just chilling, wandering around.
And you wrote down, no spirit is sure about how they got here or who the inhabitants are, which again adds to the mystery.
If they're familiars still, that means their casters are somewhere.
So they're still alive. Maybe part of the walls of the city, maybe locked someplace up in stasis.
Yep.
Who knows? It's a lot of fun. We've got some story hooks as well. We've got a couple of story hooks. Matt, what's the first story hook for a abandoned arcane city?
To save the world, a sage from this city must be consulted. Players have to figure out how to bring the citizens back.
Overarching theme right there. It's abandoned, but people once lived there. Where are the people? Go find them, right? Players begin the campaign in the city with no memory of how they got here. They can leave at any time for a price. And this is kind of like, what is it, the TV show Lost? You just show up on the island?
There's that option, but I also thought about it like an arc ship.
Oh,
like
cool.
They were in stasis. There are other people.
Mm-hmm.
They just haven't woken up yet, and nobody knows the reason why the players woke up early.
Don't even know what time it is.
Right.
That's really cool. That also gives a savvy DM time to come up with the game world if they have to make something up on the fly.
Sure.
Love it. What's the other one?
Characters must retrieve an item from this city. However, tracking down the city requires a quest, as it appears in random locations across the planet, and no one is sure where it will appear next.
Got to get the glaive, man.
Sure.
To defeat the bad guy who's in the city that teleports.
Yep.
A lot of fun. Speaking of other things which are a lot of fun, we have what, Matt?
The question of the week.
Okay, so what is the question of the week this week?
For a floating city, what is your preferred method of locomotion?
For me to walk to the city. Oh, you're talking about the preferred
city's
locomotion for the
locomotion.
city. Okay. I have a special place in my heart for two things. A, any type of magical floating city. Not something that's held up by dirigibles or something like that. Like, it's pretty much like the abandoned Arcane City.
Right.
It's floating, just high enough to piss people off.
But for locomotion, does it teleport? Does it float places? Does it have afterburners?
I would say raw magic, just like hovercraft, floats over, a chain of islands or mountains or whatever it is, just high enough to float over everything. And then my second one, which I really enjoy, is some sort of planar convergence where it just kind of shifts into various planes. It just is thematically really cool to me.
Sure.
What about you? What would you like?
Animal driven.
Okay, so it's definitely on the back of a Zaratan.
Well, okay, so it could be on the back of something, or it could be a floating city being like in the sky, being pulled by cloud whales, or
A giant sky flumph.
Can
Can you imagine a city on a Titanic flumph? We've built that.
Because I've played games with you.
Yes, well, I have a sky flump, folks. You should play games with it.
But yeah, I like the idea of some ginormous beast or series of beasts that are dragging this floating city, whether it be floating in the water or in the air,
It's a
or
whole bunch of
lava
elephants.
or what have you.
Elephants and
It's
turtles
elephants all the way down.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, we're always interested in your answers to the question of the week, and if you have one, hit us up at Goblin's Corner on all of the various sources. In addition to that, should you be watching our show on YouTube, you can do what, Matt?
You can comment down below. That is what the area there is for.
That's right. Subscribe, like, ring the bell, all that jazz. As we mentioned, we promised 2 floating cities, and we've already done one. And the second one, Matt, I love this idea. I love everything about it, and it's a very simple floating city idea in principle, but it can get complex as you move on.
Sure.
And that is the Pirate Flotilla. Why don't you give us a description, Matt?
Land ho! Shouts the lookout in the crow's nest. Moments pass. Spyglasses are peered through, and with enhanced vision comes the stunning realization that land has not been found.
Oh.
Instead, it appears ships have been sighted. Quite a lot of ships. In fact, the party sees a metropolis of lashed-together ships, all flying flags of various colors.
And then the bombards come. Just an entire wall of bombards. Cool. So we've got a pirate flotilla. Gotta love that, right? So this is a floating island of ships.
Yes.
We've got galleons, caravels, junk ships, longboats, everything in between. It's all been tied, nailed, bolted, lashed together into just one gigantic floating city.
Yes. There are thousands of masts that are connected together in a spider web of rigging.
So this gives you multiple levels of a city, right?
Yeah.
So if you've got multiple levels of rigging, you can do level 1, level 2, like the crow's nest is one level. You've got the bilges down below. So it's not just, going from ship to ship, because since they're lashed together tight, it could be an entire city that just floats on the water.
Absolutely. Also, you have to consider that these ships aren't the same size. They don't sit in the same height in the water.
Correct.
Right? A galleon sits much higher than a longboat.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could literally have layers of the city, because you could have 2 galleons sitting side by side with a longboat in between them underneath.
Yeah, many layers to this onion.
Yep.
I want to talk about the interconnectedness of a pirate flotilla for a second. So first off, the bilges may have been hollowed out and connected.
Sure.
That gives you almost like tunnels and underdark areas, right?
Yep.
Various unconnected vessels might come and go at all hours. So just because it's a, one giant city, there's going to be other ships that come and go.
Yeah.
And I must stress, this floating pirate flotilla could conceivably move.
Yes.
In fact, it should.
Yeah.
It's not just dropping anchor someplace. No. It's showing up to your
it
town.
travels. Yeah.
Can you imagine? Just think about this. You're the average, the mayor of some, port town. You wake up one day in your mayor building and you look out your mayor window and you see your delightful city, and then you see another city literally on the waves, and then the pirate ships come. And
Oh yeah, there's no surviving that. Like, absolutely not.
I love everything about this.
The average pirate crew could sack a small city. A city of pirates is going to absolutely level.
Many pirates, many nations.
Yes.
Speaking of which, 1 million flags of differing nations, companies, and fleets fly wherever they are stuck, many of which haven't been flown for hundreds of years. So this entire flotilla is old, right?
Yes.
Composed of many different civilizations. And then, of course, we mentioned the bombards, Matt.
Yes, the entire city is ringed by a wall of bombards.
Bombards, ballistas,
spell towers.
Yeah. Spell towers is everywhere. So this makes any attempt by the local nations to actually destroy the pirate flotilla futile.
You have to get to it, and getting to it is a terrible plan.
So we have multiple levels to this pirate flotilla. Let's talk about some of the levels. So instead of like districts, we've got vertical districts.
First and foremost, the highest district would be the Crow's Nests.
Yes.
It's home to lookouts as well as aerial races, storm sorcerers, and a few druids.
Cool. That's fun, right?
Yeah.
I could see a bunch of crazy storm druids sitting up on them in the crow's nest.
Sure.
You have the mast level. These are different levels of rigging and wood encompass this district, along with aerial bridges. Communities of Hadozi and Kinku make their nests here, along with various other species that can withstand the harsh elements, because it's still exposed to the elements.
Sure, but
Lower than the crow's nest.
right. Not much lower,
Yeah.
but lower nonetheless. Then you've got the main deck. This is where most of the shops, bars, and tradesmen are. Only the truly wealthy pirates can afford lodging here.
In the main deck? Yes. Below the main deck are the belows, home to the most common working class folk.
Right.
And this would also be where you see a lot of the main room as well. Aside from the main deck, they're all interconnected below decks. And again, well, just because it's a level doesn't mean it's not more than one level.
Sure.
It could be 50 levels deep if we wanted it to be.
On a normal ship, this is where people normally would stay, right? Below the belows, you have the bilges.
Okay, talk to me about the bilges.
All right. It is where the aquatic and amphibious creatures live. They
Okay.
thrive here because the area sees frequent draining and flooding.
Depending upon the needs of the city above.
Right.
You could have a lot of different creatures down here. We could have aquatic goblins, bullywugs, kuatoa, and more residing in the briny depths, while merfolk and salhagen build their homes on the outside of the bilges, literally on the outside of the ships.
Right.
And that's cool. This could be a natural meeting spot between aquatic and surface races in the bilges. And I would also say we've got down 3 times a day the bilges are drained and then flushed with fresh ocean water. This could also be a form of sewage.
Yeah.
It'd be like the sewer systems.
Yep.
Going into the actual open ocean. And then below the bilges, you have what?
The deep.
Yes. Now, this is composed of diving bells, suits, and submersibles, and gnomes.
Sure.
Because only crazy gnomes would be down in the deep. This is a haphazard region ranging in depth from 30 feet to maybe half a mile, depending on how deep it is, right?
Right. Long pressurized chambers connect the structures together, while others are accessible by gear, magic, or just the ability to breathe water.
Yep. And as we mentioned, gnomes.
Sure.
So we've got a community of eccentric gnomes making their lairs in the deep, which I love. Additionally, at the very bottom of the deep is Viltromax the Scalder, an ancient dragon turtle with whom the pirate kings have contracted out for additional defense. And there's a story about Viltromax the Scalder.
Sure.
Let's talk about the vibe, Matt. What's the vibe?
Tortuga.
Tortuga. That's right. That's all you need to know, folks.
Yeah.
Good night.
If you've ever seen a pirate movie.
This is the city they're from.
Right.
They're from the floating pirate flotilla.
Right.
So we've got a council of pirate kings loosely governing the city, all ex-adventurers or brigands who have now retired and carved their way to the top of the food chain. I love this. I love this.
Now, various factions vie for power. Merchant guilds hawk their wares, and scoundrels, both monstrous and urbane, make their living here.
Yeah.
It's a freaking pirate city.
It's a
What do you want?
pirate city. That's exactly
What do you want?
a fantasy pirate city. You want to get more specific than that? Great. Otherwise, don't worry about it.
Right.
We've got some features.
Sure.
The pirate flotilla is where old pirates go to retire. In exchange for a free harbor and safety amongst the masses, they must sacrifice their ship to the expansion of the city. Other features could include, for example,
Wares. If it can be bought, it is sold here. Slavery, however, is forbidden. Pirates are very freedom-based in most fictional fantasy settings, and so you can't do that here.
Yeah, set them free.
Yep.
You could have violence as part of the city because they're pirates.
Sure.
See above.
Yeah.
You could also have pleasures.
See above.
See above.
Everything's sold here.
Yeah, so you have a living set of brothels, drug dens, and full casinos rake in the coin by the hour. what kind of inhabitants or encounters would you have in a pirate flotilla?
So you're going to find some pirates.
All sorts of pirates, any kind of pirate, any manner of creatures, right? Honestly, any creature that wishes to evade the law and common sense would converge in the flotilla.
It's a pirate city, right? Like, you got to keep going back to this.
We sound like we're beating a dead horse. We're not.
Occasionally, aquatic monsters, vermin, and a typical city presence can all be included here.
Additionally, and I love that we wrote this down, there is an unusually large Kenku presence within the city.
I love it.
And why is there an unusual Kenku presence in the city, Matt?
Because it's filled with crow's nests.
That's right. There is no law in the flotilla, but anything that causes the ranking pirate kings to lose power or face, by the way, could incur their wrath.
Also, any threat to the flotilla itself is met with immediate and overwhelming violence by the general populace.
See the wall of ballista.
Right.
The wall of bombards.
Yeah.
The spell towers.
If you cast, say, incendiary cloud, you're gonna die. It's that simple.
There's going to be some rules on stuff like that in the pirate flotilla. No open fires, for example.
Right.
On pain of death.
It's really simple. If anything you do could cause mass damage to the flotilla, they're just going to murder you.
Yeah.
There is no trial.
At all. And while they're all stabbing each other in the back in the pirate flotilla.
They're stabbing you first.
Right. Well, but even though everybody's against each other, this is definitely a city where there's a lot of intrigue and stuff like that.
Sure.
But as soon as, I don't know, the Navy from whatever country they're floating outside comes to attack, every single guy stabbing each other in the back turns around and they're fighting side by side.
Yeah.
Because better to live another day to stab this guy in the back than to get captured by the Royal Navy of whatever country it is.
Right. End of the day, we still like it here.
Yes. Finally, we have some story hooks, Matt. Many tales could be found in the pirate flotilla. What are some of those?
A high-level pirate is secretly building a following, making the city larger in the process so that he or she may become a god. The pirate god.
The pirate kings plan to obtain divinity.
Yep.
I wonder how Viltramax the Scalder will feel about that.
I feel like either Viltramax is in on it or he's against it.
Now, we didn't put this in the story hooks, but I feel it should be said, Viltramax the Scalder, we actually decided to build this around the dragon turtle.
Right.
Because we figured that, hey, long time ago, Viltramax the Scalder, very large dragon turtle, very huge appetites, downed a couple vessels. And he didn't down one because they bargained with their lives for all the treasure. And so they gave it to Viltramax. He's like, fine. And then a couple other pirates joined up. And then a couple other pirates joined up. Pretty soon, Viltramax is doing pretty well. He's getting paid tribute all the time.
He has an entire cove under this that is filled with his hoard.
Yes. So we think that's really cool.
If you're bold enough, you can feel free to go and look for it.
Yep. What are some other story hooks? One of them is the characters are on leave and they wind up in the pirate flotilla.
Yeah.
That'd be easy, right? You're on a ship already in your campaign. You roll up to the pirate flotilla and it's time for side quests.
Yep. Ta-da.
Plus, you need to go shopping. Here you go.
Once again, if it can be bought, it can be bought here.
Yes. What else we got?
You got Shanghai.
AKA Hangover.
Yep.
Had a couple of boozy nights, wake up on the pirate flotilla. Oh no, now you've got to scrub the decks. And finally, we've got diviners working for the pirate kings have discovered threads of a plot that threaten the city. Intrigue.
Yep. You started off here and now you're being hired to handle whatever this problem is.
That's right. So there you have it, folks. 2 awesome floating cities you can use in your campaign, be it a mystery arcane floating city or a not so mystery stab you in the back pirate floating flotilla.
Yep. Based in history.
Based in history, yes. Any questions or comments? Hit us up at Goblin's Corner on all the various socials. Did you enjoy this podcast? We're floating a few more ideas. Subscribe to them on your favorite player, YouTube, and Twitch.
Click the 5 stars and give us a review on iTunes and Podchaser. And on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. It helps get our show in front of more people, and it feeds the hungry algorithm.
He's currently coming up from the depths of the pirate flotilla, demanding more gold and meat.
Tribute.
Yes, Viltramax the Scalder demands it. That's all the time we have for tonight. Once again, my name is Eric.
And I'm Matt.
We'll see you next time.
Good night, folks.
The Goblin's Corner is written and produced by Eric Holden and Matt Staples.
Show song by the Mighty D20.
What a wonderful guy.
This is a Subterranean production.
The end.